Focus on the beauty of your environment in every way that you can. Immerse yourself, engulf yourself, surround yourself with as many wonderful aspects. Do everything that you can to be in love with this and 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 in love with this. Do everything that you can think of to do in a day that will make you happy while you're doing it, because your intentions are already in your vortex. Your inner being already knows what you want and the path to it. So you just got to be as happy as you can be, so that you'll be in the receptive mode, so that you'll be ready for the idea. The ideas are being flowed to you all the time. You got to be happy to get the idea, to receive it, to understand it, and to feel enough momentum in it to say, this is what I'm going to do. If you can get it, that all you got to do is tap into that, you will never be discouraged again. You are only ever feeling a feeling of discouragement when you're not tapped into that. So our encouragement to you is do everything that you can do to just stay in this happy place. There are so many reasons to be happy. The words don't really matter very much. Your words don't matter, because it's how you feel that equals whether you're in the receptive mode or not. We just want to point out for everyone that when you start out by saying, I'm confused about something, you're in the receptive mode for more confusion, not in the receptive mode for more clarity. So the more you realize that you're looking for clarity and thinking about how good it feels to feel clear. Do you have clarity on some subjects in your life? And those subjects that you have clarity on, how do they feel? And when clarity flows, what does it feel like? And what's happening in your mind when you know you're in a state of clarity? Do the ideas flow easily? And does your ability to explore them and feel happy about them, does that increase? We're just amplifying what a feeling of clarity feels like. You know, when all of a sudden you get that idea, oh, that's a great idea. That's clarity. Then you say, oh, that'll never work. That's not clarity. Do you know what the best way to achieve clarity is? Get off the subject of confusion. So if you get completely off the subject that is causing you confusion, and you get onto a subject where you easily can find clarity, and you get clarity momentum going, then when you go back and talk about the confusing subject, it's more likely that you will find clarity. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you? Even if there's something really strong and really negative in your experience, you can still find clarity around it. Step back and find ease and well-being anyway. And that's why understanding how it all works, understanding the laws of the universe, understanding who you really are, understanding that this too shall pass if it is something unpleasant, helps a lot. Yes. So the key is to keep good feeling going as long as you can by milking good feeling situations. And then if there is something that is presenting itself to you that when you feel you need to focus upon it, like you have no choice about it, then you focus upon it with the really overriding, underlying understanding that this is an anomaly, that high flying is who you really are, that this is an exception, that this may even be a residual of something past going on in your experience, that really the momentum is in a different place. And under those conditions, you understand that you can deal with anything when you know how it all really fits together. Get the momentum going on the positive thought, because if you get the momentum going on the positive thought, the negative thought is less likely to come. It's getting out ahead of it that really is where your mastery of all this is. What we're really talking about here is your mood. What's your mood? What's your attitude? What's your mood? What is the mood that's going to turn to things? What's the mood that you've got going on? So if you get up in the morning when your mood is likely good because you haven't had time to brood about things, then if you can keep that positive mood or attitude going, then you'll get further into the day and more positive things will happen. It's getting out ahead of it. What to do when you get blindsided by something that you didn't see coming because that vibration was familiar enough to you that if you'd been in a better mood, you'd have noticed it as something that you wanted to turn away from. But since you were sort of kind of in that mood, you didn't notice it. Did you hear that? So it felt like you got blindsided because it felt sort of normal. It was just an exaggeration of the normal. If you're running around feeling vulnerable, if that's your mood, then things that make you feel more vulnerable are going to keep showing up in your experience But when you wake up in the morning and you discover that feeling of empowerment, if you can keep that going, after a few days, vulnerability isn't your attitude or mood. Invincibility is, which means you got to find it every morning and hold it as long as you can through the day, and then find it the next morning and hold it as long as you can through the day, and find it the next morning and hold it as long as you can through the day. And before you know it, your day will support the way you started it. Because today, even though your momentum subsided while you sleep, today you're still going to experience some momentum of past beliefs. So what are you doing at the first of this day will have a big impact on whether those negative beliefs, those hindering beliefs, peter out and do not become part of your experience, or whether they're active enough that they play a big part in your day. It's pretty simple, isn't it? Be as happy as you can be, and when you don't feel happy, take a nap. And when you wake up, be as happy as you can be for as long as you can, and when you don't feel happy, take a nap. And then when you wake up, tell your employer that Abraham said naps are important.